Wake up, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Says you're going. Says you're live.
All right, we are so super live. That means it's time to roll the intro. And for Chow. Welcome everyone to a 3 Cynics Gaming Podcast, something or other. Nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. It's okay. I'm Clay, your host and MC. I'm joined tonight by your favorite conspiracist, he who knows no tale too rich to be unfathomable, Mark Jr.
Yeah, spot on every week, man. Every week.
And a
Spot on.
special guest, once again, a young man whose motivations are a mystery to even himself, Sebastian.
That's kind of messed up.
Is it? Is it? Because this opening spiel is revealing. This podcast
Yes, it's
brought
the
to you
truth,
by
Sebastian.
Nothing Special, No One Special, and our bonus this week, a vast nothingness more empty than emptiness itself. We've got a show today. We're going to talk about things and stuff, more. But first, since we haven't had Sebastian on in I don't know how long, the time escapes me, we're going to catch up with him. What up with Sebastian?
Nothing. I mean, yeah, pretty much nothing. I'm looking for a new job, and I'm gonna be helping out with the middle school play. But other than that, I'm not doing anything.
Super.
Although,
Hold the
although I am playing in an adult league flag football, and it's really fun, and it's a lot more rough than you'd think, and I'm very sore.
I know what you're about to say, Mark Jr. This motherfucker has like 72 extracurricular things to do, but says I ain't got a job.
Yes. And you was motherfucking 18 years old. Fuck you mean you ain't got nothing going on. You know how much crazy shit I was doing? Come on, dude.
I'm not
Sebastian
a crazy
ain't
person.
into, yeah, he's not into crazy
I know,
shit.
I'm not, hold on. But everybody, even good people or goody goods or however you want to phrase the goddamn thing, nicer people, still do things. Sebastian.
I don't have a license or anything, so there's nothing to do. I don't have a
got
girlfriend. I don't go.
You got feet. There's bitches everywhere. I know it because I see them all the time. So, motherfucker, I'm just saying. saying. You're 18.
We did so much walking when we were young.
You should be wilding out. And I'm not talking about like go do stupid shit, but go have fun.
I do.
Motherfucker.
Like I go to my friend's
Oh,
house like
no.
most weekends, but like during the week it's just kind of boring.
Well, I mean, during the week's a little bit different because that's like, you know, do your fucking school shit and don't be a douche. But you should still be out doing shit. I don't understand that shit at all. I don't understand, dude. Kids, dude. Fuck do I know about kids? Nothing, I guess. So.
Okay, well, what's new with Mark Jr. then?
Oh, I ain't doing shit. Work.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on. First off, I'm a 34-year-old married dude. Okay, so what the fuck do you want me to be doing?
I have no idea.
Okay, I work 50 plus hours a week. I take bong hits. I play on my phone, and I play on the Xbox. That's what I be doing.
Sounds about right.
And then I be working at the house.
What'd you play on your phone this week?
When am I playing on my phone? I'm playing Family Guy.
Still?
The card
that game's
game.
like 4 years old.
No, the card game joint. Animation Throwdown or whatever.
Oh, okay.
I
I believe you.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's some shit like that. Yeah, Animation Throwdown. But it's not just Family Guy. It's all of the Fox shows minus The Simpsons for some weird reason.
Okay, maybe the license was too expensive.
Oh, yeah, but it's a Fox game. Doesn't Fox own the rights to it? But anyway.
Who knows?
That's about all I've been playing on my phone. And like I said earlier, I've been drudging through the drudgery of doom that I call the void that is the American political system all week, and it's driving me absolutely batshit crazy.
Yeah. What's got your goat this week?
Oh, there's just the picks, and then it comes to a tie in the House, and of course, cock goblin Mike Pence is like, "Oh, sure she is." And then you had no formal education, a woman who never had to go to a public school or have children in public schools, but she is the person I deem necessary to put in charge of my board of education. Sounds brilliant to me.
You don't even have kids though, so it's not even
But
like even that bad for
oh,
you.
Sebastian, kids or not, it's the future.
That's
Don't
a
give a
good
fuck.
point.
It's the future. It's not about me having kids or not. It's about the future of America.
Oh, work call.
And you just, well, anyways, you just set this bitch up to burn the whole system down. Good job, fellas.
Hey, I mean, I don't know much about politics or anything like that, but all I'm saying is Kanye 2020. That's all I'm saying.
I'll fucking murder the shit out of you, Sebastian. Kanye 2020. That's what we need. We just go ahead and start electing random ass musicians and famous people.
I definitely feel like that one of the prerequisites for being able to be elected is like political experience.
No, it's not.
I feel like it should be though.
Yeah, well, you would think so, but no.
There's only like three requirements. You got to be over 35. You got to be a legal citizen. No, you have to be born in the U.S.
Yeah, you have to be a natural born citizen.
And then I don't remember the third one, but all I know is that's very vague, and I could run for president in like 15 years.
Well, yeah, when you're grown, sure you can. I can run in 2020, Sebastian.
All right, Uncle Mark, I'm looking forward to it.
No, you don't want me running the country. I'm crazy as fuck. What? I'm crazy as fuck.
Hey, then maybe you could get the government to give us free internet, just like South Korea.
Yeah, I would work more on legalizing pot first. That'd be like first action.
First executive order. Everywhere, marijuana is illegal everywhere.
Yeah, and well, under federal jurisdiction, it's legal. Bam, done. Deal with it, bitches. So that would be my first step. But yeah, I have wild political views sometimes, Sebastian. I don't want to be the president, but I don't think Donald Trump should be the president either.
For government class, because we are. I had this homework where I had to interview one person in my family about just a bunch of questions about their political views, and I interviewed my dad, and it was very easy because the first question was like, what do you side on for your political views? And he was like non-affiliated, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a good interview today.
He's way more left-leaning than he says he is.
But I got so many right-leaning part. I'm socially liberal and conservative in almost every other facet. I don't know. I know.
Weird. It is what it is. Weird. But I lean left and right too, so I'm in the middle too. So I have some wild ass views. Fuck y'all.
I mean,
my shit's gonna be a martatorship. Biatch.
You gonna take over?
I'm gonna take this bitch over.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because I'm all about equality, but it don't work like that, dude.
Well, I'll hit y'all up with what's new with me. Sebastian got firsthand experience at it, but I got all the upgrades for my PC, my 4K monitor, my 4K capable graphics card, and I have to say that 4K is really nice, and it eliminates, almost all aliasing and, visual artifacts in games that support it. Which most games do, unless it's, League of Legends, because, I mean, they're pandering to the very lowest denominator. So, but I must say that even at only 27 inches, which means, the pixels are packed in really tight, and it's really what pixel density that makes things really sharp and defined, 4K is not a game changer. It's nice. It looks really good, but it's never going to make bad games good. It's never going to change the way you feel about a game.
Wait, who said that? Who said it would make bad games good?
I'm saying it now, that it won't. I'm just saying it's not going to change the way you feel about a game. If you already love a game, 4K isn't going to make you love it more. If you are already tepid on a game, 4K isn't going to make it better.
Actually, I think you're So I think that if you already love the game, it will make you have pay more attention to it just because it looks a lot nicer. But I don't think that if you don't like a game, it'll make it better for you. I think it's kind of like that
Well, I
relationship.
mean, it has made my Battlefield 1 experience better in that it's much
Yeah.
higher resolution, you can see a lot more detail, and it's a lot less aliasing. And I do like it. But the game isn't any more or less fun than when I was playing in 1080p. It's still exactly the same game, it just looks better.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people shouldn't go for 4K. I mean, if you can afford it, go for it.
Yeah.
But-
Also, I want to point out how you said League of Legends caters to the lowest denominator. Most people don't have 4K freaking screens, Dad.
Sebastian, the last complete redesign they did of League of Legends was all about reducing the polygon count so that lower and lower and lower end machines could run it. They are constantly working toward the lowest common denominator.
Yeah, so that they can get a higher number of players, which it worked.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm just saying, they don't have 4K support because they're pandering to the poor. Fuck the poor. They're like hookers and fat people. They don't deserve our respect.
Dad, we're like the definition of like middle class. Okay, I don't know. I hate you.
It's a joke, son.
I know.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's so good.
But I'm just saying, 4K is nice. I think the screen I bought is a little too big. Did you think so, Sebastian? It is a lot to take in from like
It
2 feet
depends.
away.
Like, if you're playing with the keyboard and mouse, then yeah, it's pretty big. I mean, but if you're like kind of like leaning back with the controller, then it's actually
Yeah.
the perfect size.
Yeah, and I
But
can't.
it's
That's the thing.
Head, it makes it easier to see the whole screen, dude. It's like a fucking
yeah.
shark.
What?
You're making fun of my head again.
Oh. Okay,
It was good,
super.
too. Yeah, man.
But yeah, I got a 27-inch screen, and I can't lean back when I'm playing with a mouse and keyboard. I sit straight up or lean slightly in. It's not comfortable to lean back and do with the mouse and keyboard. But, I mean, I'm getting used to it. I'm not going to send it back or anything. But it's all right.
Oftentimes when I'm playing on your computer, I find myself leaning back, especially when I'm playing
And
League of Legends because it's like really big.
Yeah.
Americans are obsessed with pretty, and 4K is pretty, and
It is.
it's noticeably prettier than 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, yeah.
and Americans love pretty. Telling you, it's gonna work. So I'm just saying because it's
Oh,
people
well.
like pretty.
I mean, the resolution needs to advance. I think the noticeable differences in resolution is pretty much going to end at probably around 8K. Because then you're not going to be able to tell the difference. You know?
Yeah.
Right now at 4K, you can't see a single pixel on the screen. They're too small. They're packed in too tight. But this is a 27-inch format. If you're buying your 65-inch home theater television, that's a different story. You could probably still see pixels. But at 8K, I think that's where that's going to be the cutoff. Sure, they'll probably try to sell 10K and 12K TVs or whatever multiplier they come up with. But I don't think it'll work. I don't know.
Aren't there 2K screens?
Yes. 2560 by 1440.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's like 1.5 times the resolution at 1080p. But yeah, and I considered getting one of those too, but then I thought if I'm gonna spend $600 on a graphics card, I might as well get a nice display to go with it. Because that's my American avarice, right, Mark Jr.?
Well, yeah,
Woo! Capitalism.
it's the devil.
I mean, the government owed me that money. All right. I paid them way too much money.
No, not at all. They didn't owe you that money. You gave them way too much money.
That's true. I did. I gave them thousands
that's
more than
what
they actually wanted from me.
That's what a tax return is you paid too much.
Yeah. So
it's cool. Yeah.
that's where I'm at. So
They
I've
did
been gaming in
technically owe you that
4K
much
for like the last, I don't know what, Sebastian, week and a half, something like that, or week. And yeah, it's been pretty cool. I haven't found a game yet that I can't run in 4K, so that's pretty awesome.
Well, I
And-
have.
Well, yeah,
League of
Legends.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not our fault they put Super Mario World on there, bitch. Don't get mad.
Some Nintendo 64 looking fucking graphics.
Look, and I looked at it just the other day. Popped up on a YouTube feed, watched some shit, League of Legends, and I looked at the screen and it was like two dudes looking like fucking Ultima 7. Remember that?
Or some Double Dragon looking shit. Yeah.
Yeah, like some horrible shit. Like, what the fuck? Y'all play this? Millions of people? Like, it's a craze, dude. Like, y'all are wild. I need to just draw some stick figures and have them ninja each other. Maybe I'll sell a jabillion of them.
Oh, well, stick figure games are actually pretty popular.
Very popular. Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, people don't care about
Yeah,
flashy
it's too
graphics
late.
until they care about flashy graphics.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they bitch about dumb shit because it's not flashy enough.
Mm-hmm.
Retarded, I hate you all. Every single one.
So, Sebastian, I wanted to ask you, what was it you uninstalled Uncharted to make room for on your PlayStation?
I uninstalled Uncharted to make room for GTA.
Boo.
When did you get GTA?
Hunter bought it for me
What?
so that I could play with him. I said Hunter bought it for me
Oh. Oh, interesting. Okay.
because it's so I could play with him.
Right. You got to play the online
But
experience.
the thing is, like Uncharted, like it's an awesome game, but I just like I'm not like super single player focused, and
No,
and
okay.
I need to buy. I'll end up reinstalling it eventually once I buy a bigger hard drive.
Like, what the fuck? You get the 12 gig shit?
I don't know.
No,
Like the little
it was a
shittiest shit
standard.
ever?
It came with a 500 gig hard drive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you fill that shit up quick. I got the terabyte one, but I don't fill my shit up.
Well,
The thing is, and PlayStation, you have to install the games.
Well,
And that takes-
I know.
yeah,
it's
you
like-
have
it
to on the
takes so
Xbox.
much.
Yeah. So, well, that's because physical media discs are just super, super slow because they can only spin so fast. You know.
Yes.
So they're
Fuck it,
inherently
rip it
slow.
apart. We can get one solid gameplay. So it rips itself apart.
Just burn it up.
But
Oh,
I found it to be worth it because I end up like having a lot more fun with GTA because you can just do so many more things.
oh yeah, GTA's retarded.
Oh, it is.
Step out of it. That's what it is. It's,
What?
it was cool.
It's just meant to
I
cater
enjoyed
to
the game.
people who
Oh.
who want to do whatever they want.
Oh, I also found this cool game that nobody will play with me. Lost Castle. That's what the viewers are watching now. I have to, say it out loud. Super cool game, flashy little game. I think I already talked about
Yeah,
it. Once
it looks a
before.
lot like Castle Crashers, but
Mm-hmm.
Nate wouldn't play it with you?
I bought him a copy, and
That's what I'm asking.
we haven't set aside time.
Oh,
Because when
gotcha.
we do
Busy.
Monday Night Live, we want to play Battlefield, and when we do the post game show, we want to play Battlefield. So there's
Couldn't
no
be two grown, busy ass adults, and maybe you get more game time in. But you
right.
know,
Oh
welcome
shoot,
to
I
the
get
real
tons
world.
of game time in. You should see my Steam
then-
profile. I'm an embarrassment.
okay, I do not. I don't do it like that. See, it's funny because I used to be like that, and Clay used to be the exact opposite, and we've kind of switched. That's what's up.
I mean, yeah, you can't get around it. I got lots of free time now. I make sure I have lots of
Oh,
free time.
Lucky fucking you.
There ain't no fucking
Motherfucker,
point in
I'm
not
doing it
having any
wrong.
free time. What the hell's the point in spending all your time doing things you don't want to do? Fuck that. You're crazy. Right,
You
Sebastian?
don't have to live in your mama's attic
Sebastian
forever.
lives in a world of free time.
yeah, except all right, I'll tell you right now, that free time gets really boring. Like honestly,
Get a
If
job.
I-
Holy shit! What I wouldn't do for some of that.
okay, you say that now. You say that now. But when you have free time all the time, like, and you're not making money, it kind of sucks. Okay,
Well,
like,
not when everybody's paying for everything else. It's cool.
yeah, that's true. But like, I can't be like, hey, I can't go up to my mom every day and be like, hey, give me money so I can go buy stuff. Whereas if I had a job, I could just have money.
Well, that's the advantage of having a job. You get
know.
money for your time.
I know.
So get a fucking job.
Trying.
I was waiting for it.
I
He ain't
don't
trying.
understand.
He hasn't put in a single application.
What are you talking? I've walked up to the mall and everything.
Okay.
Did you
Thank
just
you.
wander around and get like an Orange Julius and I just dated the
I
shit? So-
I asked some places if they're hiring,
Yeah. Oh,
and
Hey,
a lot of them
you-
said they weren't.
you have like a Craigslist or maybe like the internet.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
it's
we
got
have
the
the internet.
internet.
Pretty sure.
You're like
Last I
just
checked,
some
I
internet
paid
where you
that
can
bill.
just, like there's a Macy's at your mall and you just go online and apply for Macy's at the mall.
yeah,
I'm just
but, like,
saying, dude, no, lame. Just do
All
it,
right.
homie.
So, who wants to talk about some news or some shit or whatever?
What's the one topic you got? What you
I got a Business Insider article titled Facebook is closing hundreds of its Oculus VR pop-ups in Best Buys after some stores went days without a single demo. Now,
Damn.
yeah, this right here is some good shit. Apparently, people don't even want to try VR. At first, they started with just a few dozen Oculus demos in Best Buys. And then they totally went bonkers and upped it to like 500 nationwide. And now they're closing 200 of those because people don't want to do it. An Oculus spokesperson said that it was due to seasonal changes. That's why they're reducing so many whatever. And you know, her quote is quote, "We still believe the best way to learn about VR is through a live demo," end quote, which is probably true. But that whole seasonal shit sounds like bullshit when you get to the part of the article where there's some quotes from Best Buy employees. Quote, "There'd be some days where I wouldn't give a demo at all because people didn't want to," end quote, said a Best Buy worker in Texas. And he also said that they didn't press on actually selling the machine. Their main idea was to simply do demonstrations and get people talking about Oculus and the Oculus Rift. And apparently they couldn't get people to even put it on, much less talk about
Hold
it.
on, I'm gonna drop it, Clay. I'm gonna drop it.
All right.
It's the eye herpes. That's what it is. Because everybody talks about goddamn what? Ocular herpes, right? How do I know dude in front of me didn't have ocular herpes? And now you want me to strap this shit that's been strapped on like 4 billion people's heads on my head?
It is kind of skeevy if you were to like walk into Best Buy and see a line of people and then get in line and then be reminded when it's your turn that you just watched a line of people strap that thing to their face.
Yeah, and watch those people in line while you do it because they're like scratching balls and armpits and shit. And then they're touching that shit and putting it on their head. And then you're like, I'm going to put that on my head. Now, maybe that's the germaphobe in me. But
Right.
I'm not putting that shit on my head, dude. So, I'm just saying, eye herpes. The whole time you were talking, I was
okay,
like,
all right.
eye herpes.
Mark Jr.'s conspiracy is that one time that two people, us and one other person, reported on ocular herpes. Apparently that's gone viral. What's your theory, Sebastian?
I think that. So does this apply? Is this applying to like all the VRs or just Oculus Rift?
Just Oculus.
Okay. Well, I think one of the biggest things is that VR is not suited for companies that didn't originally make video games. Like, I'm assuming that the PlayStation VR will sell better than the Oculus Rift because PlayStation makes video games, and therefore will probably specialize in making these VR games.
Well, if you had kept up with the podcast, you would know that the PlayStation VR has outsold both Oculus and their competitors combined.
Okay.
Yeah, and they still have yet to move 1 million units. So
Okay, and also another thing is that people are scared. Okay, people are so comfortable with their machines that they understand. You know, their PlayStations, their controllers, their TVs, that they won't try out these new things. All right, this has happened multiple times before, and
Mhm.
and like it. I think that I think that at least the PlayStation VR will catch on a lot more once people, grow some nards.
Yeah, your
First off,
rebuttal, Mark Jr. I gotta pee. I'll be right back.
okay, hold on. First off, did you drop "Man Scared to Change" on me? Did you just
Yes.
drop "Man
Yes.
Scared to Change" on me?
Yes.
So you're telling me your entire generation, which is I'm assuming the people who Nate, tell Nate to jump on. I'll tell him. Damn it, you made me lose train of thought. What was I saying, Sebastian?
This is my generation.
Oh, I'm assuming the target audience is probably your generation, millennial generation.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Well, I mean, just a safe bet, right? Like 18 to
Yeah.
35,
Yeah.
or maybe even 14 to 35.
Yeah,
You know, that's your general range. We're not scared of change, homie.
Oh, okay. You might not be scared of change. I'm
talking about the video game. I'm talking about the video game industry. The people who grew up playing these games and then turned around and became the people who made these games are your generation and my generation, more my generation probably, of people that made it. They've been innovating and know nothing but a huge boom in the video game market. Why wouldn't they spend extra money? Since we seem to be willing to throw money at complete dumb shit that doesn't even make sense. Why wouldn't they be willing to throw money towards VR?
The difference between most normal changes and stuff like this is that you're going from, your keyboard and mouse or your controller on your screen to practically, for some people, being in the game. And it's a huge shift that people don't want to take.
Yeah, well, had either of you considered that that the vast majority of people, like, there's estimates out there that PlayStation has sold about 750,000 units. That's nothing compared to the 40 or 50 million PlayStations out there. Have you guys considered the fact that maybe most people simply don't want to strap their games to their face?
Yeah, that's another thing. Like,
we talked about it in the previous. Sorry for cutting you off, Sebastian. Let me just drop it. You can have it back. When I was growing up, VR was like you went into like this bubble, and like on a little treadmill, and you ran and you did shit. That's what VR was. That was going to be the next thing in the '90s.
Yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah, that was the idea, and then you turned it into a strap it on my face thing. That's not VR, dude. You just strap my video game closer to my face.
It's true.
So you completely fucked up the whole thing. So you're just like strap eye herpes on your head and go with
it.
And plus, there's a big barrier of cost of entry. I mean, think about it. The guy who just got his PlayStation Pro when they came out, what, November? How soon is he going to be ready to literally double the cost of his investment? More than double if he wants to get the Move controllers and the camera that it requires. So how willing do you think, or how soon do you think he's willing to more than double his investment in gaming? Well, probably not for a long time.
There are VR games that you just use a controller for. And the whole point of that is just to bring it closer to the experience.
No, it needs the camera to track your head. The camera you cannot do without.
Crab.
What?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Add the salty crab.
Uh-huh.
Adam.
Oh, Adam? Oh, Adam to the Skype? Oh, my gosh. This is crazy talk. Is Nate about to come in?
Yes, add him to the call.
Oh, my gosh.
Gorsh.
Hello?
What's up?
Oh, he sounds ready for a podcast.
The most ready I've ever been in my entire life.
Welcome to the podcast, Nathan. We were just discussing why it is people don't even want to try VR, because Best Buy and Oculus are closing 2/5 of all of their VR demos.
Because it's dumb and should be hated.
There you have it. The definitive answer.
All right, I'm gonna say that if Best Buy put out, so the thing is, like what I said earlier, how Oculus Rift, like, they didn't originally make video games, so their video games automatically are less appealing. So if PlayStation puts out demos into Best Buy, I'm sure they'll get more people that will want to try it, just because if they put out an actual game that like say Resident Evil for
No,
example.
it's also
Resident
brand
Evil 7 has been-
recognition. People know what a PlayStation is.
Exactly. And so if you put out a Resident Evil VR demo, which by the way, I watched the gameplay of the Resident Evil VR demo, and it's pretty cool. And I think it would get a lot more demos than an Oculus Rift.
Probably so. Probably.
It doesn't make it a good platform.
Yeah, and and plus, Sony is nearly as backwards and business stupid as Nintendo is. So,
How so?
yeah, I don't have time to catch you up on years of their dumbass decisions. So,
Give me the summary.
the summary is they abandon projects without ever giving them a chance in the first place, and they handily and readily will give up on something as soon as it doesn't meet their expectations, rather than growing and developing it to meet their expectations.
Oh, all right.
Does that-
Sounds good to me.
Was that a good summary, guys? Yeah.
Yeah, douchebaggery. That's what I call it.
Remember the PSP and the PlayStation Vita? How they were both dead inside of 2 years? Yeah.
Hey, I had a PSP for like 3.
Yeah, and you never played it.
Dang straight. It's terrible.
Yeah. Well, it
It was
didn't
a
have good
terrible
games.
piece of
They didn't
equipment.
support it with software.
The only game that I ever played on that thing was SOCOM, and it was the controls were so terrible it made me want to throw it.
Oh yeah, the analog sticks on that thing were shit.
Not even that, just the game's controls itself were just terrible, and it made me want to shoot myself. Honestly,
You're terrible.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do it. I'm glad you didn't fall to the suicidal temptations of SOCOM. Just saying. Okay. So, I mean, how am I supposed to arrange this Gaming Smarts Challenge? I've never made a Gaming Smarts Challenge for 3 people.
You just
Well,
do Nate.
wing
you
it.
just do Nate and Sebastian.
Nah, we're doing all 3, Dad. You better wing
and
it.
I'll be the lifeline. What's up?
Oh, Lifeline. Oh,
Well,
I
I'm
don't
not
know if I want to use you for Lifeline, to be honest.
I'm
There
not
you
sure
go,
Nate's
bam.
ready for the
Oh, he
He
left.
left the call.
Damn. Damn. He's having a bad day. Well, anyway,
Yes, he is.
who wants to play a Gaming Smarts Challenge? A game this week I'm calling Killer Man Most Devilish because it's all about murderers. Because
Oh boy.
I was going to make a Gaming Smarts Challenge about light bulbs, but there is in fact very few interesting things about light bulbs.
All
Okay.
right.
I'm just saying, light bulbs, they're so common. Everybody knows what a light bulb is. And then I thought, hey, everybody knows what a murderer is. But this game was actually designed for Mark and Nate. So I don't know how up to date you are on your murderers,
Hey,
Sebastian.
I'm taking forensics right now, so.
Ooh, okay. Then we'll
But-
let you
but
go
to be
first
fair,
as the
we
special
haven't gotten
guest.
to the murderers part.
Sebastian, oh, wait a minute. I've got to open up the scoreboard. I nearly forgot. And then I have to modify it to reflect the players.
To be fair, we haven't gotten to the murderers part of this class, so
Oh. Well, that's all right. That's no big deal.
I'll do
All right.
I'll do my best.
So we have Mark and Seabass. Sebastian, you are up first for the Game of Smarts Killer Man Most Devilish. First question.
Okay.
Dr. Harold Sharpman. Whoa, wait, damn it. What the fuck? I think I hit the page up button. Okay, better. Dr. Harold Sharpman is commonly regarded as the most prolific killer in modern history, with over 250 murders ascribed to him. But there are things that can shake even men like him. He hung himself in his cell the day before what important event? Was it his scheduled execution, his 58th birthday, or his birthplace's celebration of his father's achievement?
My gut tells me it's the execution, but I'm gonna say answer number 3.
The birthplace celebration of his
Yeah.
father's achievements?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that is incorrect. It was the day before his 58th birthday.
Interesting.
He didn't want to be 58.
Nobody
Okay.
knows because he didn't leave a note. All right, Mark Jr.,
Didn't
this
leave
is
a
a
note?
man you've
Alright.
heard of. Let's tie it up. Dr. H.H. Holmes is considered America's
Tied up, it is
first...
time.
What? Oh, did I give
Sebastian?
Sebastian?
0-0.
I gave him a point. God damn it. All right,
Damn.
point
All
away.
right.
All right, time for you to take the lead, Mark Jr. Dr. H.H. Holmes is considered America's first serial killer. His motivations for his convoluted killings were summed up in one of his most famous quotes. He compared himself to whom? A poet, a mystic, or a god among men?
Wow.
Oh, I should know this. I watched the whole documentary on that motherfucker.
Hell yeah, he was a
I should
fucked up
know
man.
it.
He had himself
Yes,
like a
he
death
wasn't.
castle and shit.
Yes, it was cool as a bitch when you look at it like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the God Among Men, although I think that's wrong. But that's what I'm going with.
That is incorrect. He actually compared himself to a poet. He could not help the fact that he was, quote, a murderer no more than a poet can help the inspiration to sing, end quote.
Okay.
He was this is all about fucked up people. All right, Sebastian, no points yet. You still have your chance to take the lead. Ted Bundy, damn, I can't speak.
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy, like many of his ilk, kept souvenirs of his terrible acts. What did he keep? The hair of his victims, a bit of the various environments where the killings took place, or Polaroid photographs of his victims.
What was the first option?
The hair of his victims.
I'm gonna go with the second one. The places where he.
The environment.
That is incorrect. He took Polaroids.
Those pictures.
Of the photos, he said, quote, when you work hard to do something, you don't want to forget, unquote.
I mean, he's got a point.
Oh, Nate's back. Hey.
Yeah, sorry. My wife decided that me saying, hey, I'm going to sit down and do the podcast was the perfect reason to talk to me incessantly. So I switched to the other room.
Perfect. All right. We're going through a Gaming Smarts challenge about murderers. Mark or Nate,
Right, I
you can
gathered
have a
that.
second guess at things. All right, Mark Jr.'s turn. Still no points on the board. Y'all guys are failing your murder test here.
I know I am. I am horribly.
Mark Jr., the deaths of John Wayne Gacy and Jeffrey Dahmer were not far apart. What year did they both die? 1994,
1994.
1996, or 1997?
94. 94, bitch.
I gotta lay out all the options. That is absolutely correct. John Wayne Gacy died May 10, 1994 by lethal injection, and Jeffrey Dahmer was murdered in prison November 28, 1994. First point goes to Mark Jr. Very good. All right. Sebastian, you're up.
Okay.
The historical serial killer, Gilles de Rais, was famous for more than luring boys into his castle to torture, rape, and murder them. He also fought alongside which of the following warriors? Napoleon Bonaparte, Joan of Arc, or Henry of Castile?
Napoleon Bonaparte.
That is incorrect. He fought
Okay.
alongside Joan of Arc in the 100 Years' War.
Dang.
And then once it was over and Joan of Arc was hung and all that good sort of stuff, he lured boys into his castle. He could
Nice.
do horrible things. Yeah. All right. Still no points for Sebastian, but Mark Jr.'s got the lead. You can extend your lead here. Mark Jr., of all the United States, California had the highest number of serial homicide cases, with 16% of the national total in the 20th century.
Damn.
Which state had the lowest, with 0%? Was it Vermont, South Carolina, or Maine?
It's one of those damn Northeast states too. I'm gonna go with Maine, even though it's huge and there should be like a serial killer stalking the woods and shit.
That is absolutely correct. In Maine, in the 20th century, there was not a single case of serial murder.
Damn, life goal.
Move to Maine?
That just means they spread it out, bro. Qualification
Oh,
is
yeah.
serial killer, so they just spread it out.
Uh-huh. Probably. All right, Sebastian. It's 2-0, bro. Pick up your game. You ready?
Okay.
All right, to follow up on the last question, the United States leads the world in serial killers, because of course it does. What percentage of the total cases does the U.S. boast? 60% of all serial killers in the world, 71%, or 76%?
76.
Good answer. That's right. 76% of all serial murder cases have come from the United
Well,
States.
You gotta figure the United States has 1/9 of all incarcerations in the world. So
Yeah,
No, that doesn't
crazy
mean-
talk.
I mean, I understand that, but that doesn't mean serial killers. First off,
true, but
bitches be running wild in the jungle and killing villagers and shit. That nigga don't ever get caught.
I was gonna say also, serial killer varies. The requirements vary from government to government.
Yeah, and it's
All
mostly a
right.
Western.
Mark Jr., you've
Anything.
only got a 1-point lead. You're not securing your win yet, but this could do it. Most all serial killers are classified as psychopaths and, unlike schizophrenics and others with severe mental disorder, can seem normal or even charming in public life. Psychiatrists have a phrase for this unique feature. What is it? The mask of sanity, the second face, or social acceptability tilt?
I should know this too, but I have not a clue. I'm calling Lifeline Nate. What you got, Nate?
I wasn't paying attention at all. Easy E.
Dick. Easy E is not the answer.
Oh.
Um,
The
fuck,
mask
I
of
should-
sanity, the
Yeah, no,
second
I'm gonna
face,
go with I'm gonna go with C.
social acceptability tilt.
Yeah.
That is incorrect. Psychiatrists call it
The
the
mask?
mask of sanity.
Yeah.
All right, Sebastian, you have a chance to tie it
That's
up.
funny shit.
okay.
All right. The serial killer and cannibal Richard Chase only broke into houses that were unlocked because he thought if they were locked, it meant he was unwelcome. He also believed which of the following? He could
What a
absorb the soul of any person who met his eyes long enough, or his cannibalism was a result of a vampiric disease, or he could absorb vitamin C by placing oranges on his head.
Oh my god, this guy's okay.
Yeah, any one of those makes him fucking batshit crazy.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the first one. I feel like that's
That he could
let's do
absorb
it.
the soul of any person who met his eyes long enough?
But this guy was crazy enough to feel like he was welcomed into people's houses. Why not?
Nope. He believed he could absorb vitamin C by placing oranges
That was
on
my
his
second
head.
answer. Okay,
All right, Mark Jr., you've taken the game. Let's see how far you can push your total. There was some irony in the fact that Vlado Tedeschi turned out to be a serial killer. Why is that? Was it? Both of his parents were murdered by a killer that was not caught until after Tedeschi's trial, or he was a crime reporter with notable work on serial killers, or he was a supposed fiction writer whose stories proved to be his own.
I don't have a fucking clue in the world.
You've
dude.
never heard of Vlado
Let me-
Tedeschi?
No. No. But I'm gonna go with C on that one. He's a fiction writer that did his own shit. It would make it nonfiction. Be great.
You know, that would have been much more interesting than the truth. No, he was a Macedonian crime reporter who didn't...
He's a Macedonian.
Macedonian, yes.
Oh,
Apparently.
Damien?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had nuts, bro.
He is Macadamian. All right, congratulations, Mark Jr., on your win. 2-1. Sebastian, you did not put up much of a fight. I know. Where's your serial killer knowledge? Next time, you need to study up.
How you
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
avoid the
sorry.
enemy if you don't know the enemy.
Right. Exactly. So, anyways, good thing Nate Johnny is here because we ran out of topics before we even got to the Gaming Smarts Challenge. So,
Sweet.
you
You
added
talked
this
about GameStop yet?
GameStop? Oh no, I totally
Yeah,
forgot
their
about
Circle
that.
of Life thing.
Yeah, oh shoot. I will Google that now. Why don't you open with that?
What do you want me to open with about it? It happens. GameStop's a bunch of cocksuckers. Newsflash.
What did the
Wait a
cocksuckers
minute.
do this week?
So basically, GameStop has been. It'll be easier when Clay finds an article because there's a laundry list of shit that they have been doing. Basically, they've been more or less forcing their employees to lie to people, to the customers, because of their quote unquote incentives programs and stuff.
Here we have it. The program called
There you go, bam.
Circle of Life, according to this Kotaku article, gives each GameStop store different percentage quotas for 1. Pre-orders, 2. Reward card subscriptions, and 3. Used game sales, 4. Game trade-ins. And each of these quotas is based on the store's total transactions. So GameStop might make $2, more commonly just $1 on a brand new game sale. Their margins, the game publishers give them the teeniest, tiniest margins. But they make a shit ton of money on used games because, you know, they'll take back that relatively new copy of Bloodborne and give you $35 or $30 for it, and then they'll turn around and sell it for $54.99. So they have huge profits on those things, so they want to sell more of those things. And they also encourage pre-orders because that brings people back to the store and you can sell them more stuff. But the way the percentages work is like if a GameStop employee sold, God forbid, like a PlayStation or an Xbox, that would literally count $400 against their quota of used game sales. So some would start telling people, oh, we don't have any more PlayStations, or we don't have that game right now, but you can buy a used copy right over there on the wall.
I've been told that before.
So
And
basically, the way it works is GameStop makes all the money on used games and virtually no money on new games. And the gaming industry, the developers and the publishers, make all the money on new games and nothing on used games. So they are constantly cannibalizing one another, which is hilarious because they have a symbiotic relationship. You can't exist without the other. I mean, love it or hate it, GameStop is still the go-to place for video games. You know, you can have all the Steams and Humble Bundles and all that you want, but most people are still just going to walk right into their local GameStop and pick up something off the shelf.
Happens a lot more often than people think.
Actually, when I went to GameStop the other day, the guy handed out a card to all of the people that were in the store at the time, basically saying like that he was gonna give us like more stuff for bringing in games that were used. It's like we were gonna get like money back, or I don't know, something extra to bring in all the used games we have.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because they make a lot of money on those things, and they make basically nothing on new games or consoles. There's no money in it. Like when you walk through the Best Buy and you see that the Blu-ray section is 5 times, probably 10 times as large as the Xbox section, it's because they can sell a Blu-ray at a profit. Even though a lot of people don't buy physical media anymore, it's still much more profitable to sell that little thing than it is to sell anything that Xbox is offering or PlayStation.
Does that mean when I bought my PlayStation, I was screwing over GameStop?
No, you gave them a few bucks.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no, and theoretically, you'll be back to buy used games. And also, it doesn't matter if you screw over GameStop because they're a bunch of fuckhead goddamn corporate assholes anyway. I'm married to someone who was fucked over by GameStop, okay? And there are lots of dirty little secrets involved in GameStop that have really turned me off to micro stores in general. So I don't, you hear stories. You can go online. They have subreddits all dedicated to it about how, employees giving other employees, tips and tricks on how to how to get around the circle of life, as it's called, which is just asinine. You know, I read a story that people are having to fire good employees who are some of their best salespeople. This actually happened to my wife because they're not hitting the same quota or they're not hitting the right quota.
Yeah, the ratio has to be right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's absolutely asinine because you know what? I don't want your stupid card, and I'll buy whatever the fuck I want to buy.
Well, the biggest problem with a model like GameStop is there's not a lot of shelves. Therefore, there's not all that much merchandise. You know, you walk into Walmart or Best Buy or any of their competitors, and they might have just the same tiny margins, but they have a shit ton more product to sell. And that's the way of business. When you are in a business like GameStop, you have to have some high margin products. You can't stay in business unless you do. So the way they've worked it out, I mean, it makes sense. When you're making $15 or even like $25 on a single used copy of Uncharted, but you're making $1.25 on the brand new copy, yeah, bitch, sell that used copy right now. I don't know.
I think GameStop's incentivizing it wrong anyway. Like, if I see two copies of a game and one's $59.99, the other is $54.99, I'm leaning towards the $59.99 because it's not used. But if you told me every used game has a 1-year warranty, guess which one I'm buying, and you're making a lot more money.
You know what? You could even just drop the price to $49.99, and I'll be much more likely.
Yeah, $10 is a chunk of change, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not a lot of money, but when you're standing there looking at a game, you're like, well, I can buy a new one $59.99. Oh, there's a used one $49.99. Sweet, I'll get that. But you make it $5 cheaper, I'm with Nate. It's like, well, why don't I just spend $5 more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just get the new shit rather than that. But I've had this exact shit happen to me where I was in games. I don't remember what game I bought, and it was a new one. And the dude was like, "We ain't got none." I'm like, "Really?" He's like, "No, but I got like 3 used copies right here."
Yeah.
GameStop will limit the number of copies. Betsy, I'm sorry, my wife's name is Betsy. She used to get like, I want to say it was 3% of total pre-orders is what she got, or some other nonsense like that. So if she had 300 pre-orders, they got like 8 to 10 additional copies at most to sell to actual customers that just walk in the door to buy it.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, because GameStop doesn't make money on it. So they'll wait for some of those other people to bring the game back and then make, 10,000 times the profit. Clearly 10,000 times is exaggeration, but 1,500 times isn't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they'll give you $30 for it or $25 for it, and then they'll turn right around and sell that bitch just like we said, $49.99. Bam, that's 2,000% profit.
Yeah.
No, not even that, Nate. 90% of the time, they give you store credit back because they just convince you. We'll give you $5 extra. You do store credit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then you
Guaranteed we have your money.
Go and get a used, and then you go and get a used game, and pay them $10 more on top of the 25 you got in store credit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I've done it a million times, dude.
It's amazing. You would figure that the two entities would be in a much healthier relationship.
Yeah.
And instead, they constantly seem to be attacking each other when you need each other to coexist. I don't know what, Ubisoft's Uplay sales are. I don't know what Origin's sales are. I just think that it's not what they're getting out of GameStops and other micro stores like that, Best Buy and things like that. So why don't you come up with a way to better split the profit sharing?
Well,
Because AAA developers want all the money they can get, especially on new games.
yeah, no money is enough money unless it's all the money. Yeah. But I don't know. Maybe they should cooperate more. Or maybe GameStop should just get out of the new game business. Because obviously, and it's not a problem to incentivize selling high margin products. Not at all. But when people are afraid of losing their jobs, so afraid that they'll lie to their customers, you're doing it wrong. And I'm telling you right now, if GameStop stopped selling used games today, they would go out of business in a matter of weeks.
Yep.
7-10 weeks tops.
I
You can't have a customer come in and browse for half an hour and walk out having given you $1 profit.
Well, I will tell you this: you can ask a GameStop employee, because I've interacted with many off the clock due to my wife's affiliation. While they're at the store, they will tell you they love their job. I have yet to meet a single one of them who, after they've left or after they've quit, will tell you they enjoyed the job at all.
You know, to be fair, 65% of Americans say they hate their jobs.
I love my job.
So, well, I feel you.
Well,
I don't
you are
love
the
my
the
job.
minority.
Yeah, you are the
I can't
minority.
be. I'm
'cause
a
I don't
white
love my
man.
job.
White men can't be minorities. Jesus.
Yeah.
You guys don't even keep up.
You're a minority in lots of places, like everywhere except America and most of Europe.
Right. The places that matter.
All right. Okay. 2 fucking billion Chinese, but white people matter. You're right. White people matter.
I mean, if we're getting technical, nobody matters and we're all going to die. So it's cool.
Bam. It's beautiful nature of life.
Yeah, but there's a
Right.
difference between not liking your job, Mark, and hating your job.
Oh, that's fair. But that's what it is. They don't look forward. I remember the poll. I can't remember where it was. And it was, don't look forward to going to their job in the morning or something like that.
Hmm.
65%
You know why that is?
said-
Because motherfuckers won't switch jobs. As a manager, these motherfuckers will just sit there miserable as shit in the same job for years because they don't want to try. Doesn't make any sense.
We talked about it earlier in this episode too, huh, Sebastian? Fucking scared
Yeah.
to change.
Yeah.
Scared to change.
Yep.
So,
I don't know.
Well,
love
I
my
mean,
job.
there is some exciting news. Hopefully, Guinevere's boyfriend is going to bring over his brand new Oculus Rift this weekend. And I'm going to find out exactly what VR is like. Apparently what happened
Clay's
was
gonna get eye herpes.
his dad bought him an Oculus Rift without ever making sure that he had a computer that could run it.
Sweet. Best
Yeah.
plan.
I mean, he has a PC, but it's
Hold on.
not awesome.
I'm out. Didn't we discuss that when we were talking about the Oculus Rift? Is that some motherfuckers were going to buy it for their kids, not knowing they couldn't use it? I'm
Yep.
pretty sure we prognosticated the shit out of that.
Yeah, and now we have an anecdotal example.
Bam. That's all the evidence we
Oh.
need. America, bitch.
Yeah, it's just great.
Also, didn't he ask his dad for like a PlayStation or like something other than the Oculus Rift, and he got the Oculus Rift?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Parents just don't understand. They're dumb. We're just a bunch of dummies.
You're right. You're right.
I know
My
what you're
parents are
talking about.
stupid.
We as
Sebastian
parents
has
only
watched-
understand what we want because we come first. Because if we don't have us, then you don't have us, and all of us die.
That's a good point.
I'm just going to say I'm good with any of those outcomes.
Right.
Just pick one and we'll roll with it. I'm getting my I don't know, what is it? What is the Galaxy one? That should be coming in my mail pretty soon.
Oh,
It was free with my phone.
not the Daydream, but the Gear VR.
Yeah, that was free with my phone. I just had to wait a month or whatever, so I should be getting that pretty soon.
Yeah,
So-
I meant to ask you about that, but yeah, I'd like to hear how that works.
I'm gonna try it, but it's
I've
just gonna
heard-
be sounds of me vomiting.
Well, if you
Being
could
honest.
record it, if you could record your use of it, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I'd also like to hear how it works with glasses. I've heard some bad things about VR headsets and glasses and whatnot, so
I was probably gonna take mine off.
no, you have to wear them.
Anyway.
You won't be able to focus.
I don't need to focus. I'm gonna throw up anyway.
I was gonna say you're gonna be double vomitous. Oh.
All right, I'll just use it in the bathroom. That's all.
Okay, very good. All right, well, it's time to wrap this thing up. Let's get on with some rapid reactions. We'll start with
Boy.
Nate as the newest member of the podcast. Nate, Rainbow Six Siege is getting loot crates. Go.
God.
I mean, lots of people play fucking the Half-Life mod that I can't think of right now.
Counter-Strike?
Counter-Strike.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of people play Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
lots of people don't play Siege. So instead of doing the things that make it like the games they want to play, they do the bad things like the games they want to play.
Sebastian, Vizio was ordered by the FTC to pay a $2.2 million fine for tracking or spying on users of their smart televisions without permission. Go.
That's some shady stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Vizio. All
They
up
could have
in
just
the
put it in the EULA, and then
conspiracy.
everybody would have agreed to it because they wouldn't know any better anyway.
Exactly. Mark Jr., Fallout 4 surpassed Skyrim to become Bethesda's most successful game. Go. Did we lose Mark Jr.?
Oh, no, he's still on
No,
the
I
call.
was, no, I was muted. I was talking that whole time, bitch.
Sweet.
I was talking that whole fucking time. I said not surprising.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
a great
right.
game.
All right, Nate. Rocket League Championship Series features a $300,000 prize pool. Go.
We both bought it and have never once loaded it up. So
I played the tutorial.
on that. I don't play tutorials, bro, but I didn't play it at all. It's still just sitting in my Steam library uninstalled.
Oh, Sebastian.
I mean,
Go on. Go on. Go on.
no,
What?
no, I got nothing. I
All
might.
right, Sebastian, Milwaukee County Parks will now require Niantic to get a permit to use their parks as stops for Pokemon Go. Go.
Well, Pokemon Go is dumb anyway, so sure.
Sure,
Will
yeah.
will sit on you, bro.
All right. Cool. Mark Jr., a Counter-Strike player, has been banned for 1,000 years for allegedly harassing a 15-year-old girl. Go.
Damn. Dick move on both parts.
Yeah, 1,000 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he could
like,
just
what
buy
the fuck?
another copy, but...
I mean, exactly. And why'd you put a date on it, bitch? What the fuck?
Actually,
It's gonna exist.
if a person gets banned and not an account, if the company sees that you're playing it, because I'm assuming he probably streams stuff like that, they'll ban that account too. It's happened on League of Legends too.
There's many ways to hide your IP, and I'll just sign up as Ryan Stiles.
Bam.
Cool.
Put up a picture of Ryan.
Nathan,
Stiles.
the 50 Shades of Grey VR experience is available
Oh.
now. Go.
I mean, I guess that'll have to be the first thing I download after I get off of Slang and Friends. I have gotten
Sebastian.
6 people to download that, just for the record.
Nice. Sebastian, Clay says, fuck cosplay. Cosplay is not news. Go.
I agree. I feel like cosplay is a form of some people's expression, and sure, go ahead. But I don't care about it.
Lame. That was a bad answer, Sebastian. You were supposed to give me something laughable. Darn it.
I didn't laugh at all, Sebastian.
I know.
You're right.
All right, Mark Jr., last one. Clay was inordinately angered this week when he found a reputable contributor to Forbes placed a colon on the wrong side of a quotation. Go.
Don't you be no goddamn grammar Nazi, bitch.
I can't help it. They're
Don't
supposed
you
to be
no
professionals.
goddamn-
You're writing
I
for
understand
Forbes,
that,
not BuzzFeed.
Understood, Clay. Don't be a grammar Nazi, dick.
I mean, I didn't comment or anything. I didn't
I support grammar Nazis.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to fucking correct
Grammar
you.
is important no matter how much the internet says it isn't.
No, it's important, but don't be that guy. That's what I'm saying.
I
agree.
am a pedantic prick. I can't help it. And when I
Dude.
see you fucking up your grammar, that's why that is the single greatest reason I had to get off of Facebook, because I could not stand what people wrote there and
Oh,
how
it's
they wrote it.
terrible.
Oh no, I can't look at it. I haven't
And I have
looked at a
teenage friends,
Facebook
too.
feed in years.
I have teenage friends too, so it's even worse.
You
I
are
can't
a
stand it.
teenage
I
friend.
was
Yeah, but I don't.
friends.
Most of the time, I try to use the pretty good grammar. So like,
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
best
you do.
grammar. Say it how it is. I use the bestest grammar, bitch.
Yeah, trumping
I
that
don't know
bitch.
me.
You got to trumpet yourself. Well, it's been an excellent podcast. We've had people come and go. We had competitions about murderers. And there was no talk of digital genitalia until now. But until then, there wasn't any. And I mean, our sponsors this week were like The Void and Space and Black Holes. I don't know. Let me do the outro thing, because
Don't be weird, bro.
I can't help it. I mean, thank you all for watching and listening. You can find us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, or almost anywhere. And check out 3 Cynics on YouTube and Twitch if you want to see the video. And if you want to support the podcast, the best way you can do that is to leave us a rating and review on iTunes. It's the biggest podcasting platform in the world, and that is the best way to help others find what you love about our just terribly charming personalities.
Also, send me money.
Oh yes, and we need money. We need sponsorships, and we're gonna start a perpetual Kickstarter, or what do they call that now? Patreon, and we need all the money so we can quit our jobs and become full-time entertainers. That's what you should do. I would also like to remind everyone that it is still true that I have empirically proved, using my most scientific method of bold and unfounded assumption, that all persons who do not listen to and watch 3 Cynics content are stupid. Help your friends and family not be stupid. Get them listening and make them smarter. We'll see you all next week.
Bye now.
See ya.
Enjoy.
That was so smooth, Sebastian. That was like the Fonz right there. Except for the horribly awkward pause you put before. You were almost
I was thinking
the
about what to
Fonz.
say. I was gonna say CY at sign, but I decided not to.
What the fuck does CY at sign mean?
It's see ya, but with an at sign instead of a A.
That would make me want to punch you in the ovaries.